If there's one thing I like, it's a good scone. Today we're going to make a scone. It's going to be orange and currant. So let's get started. The first thing we're going to do, I have here 2 tablespoonfuls of granulated sugar, and to that I'm going to add about 3/4 tablespoonful of the orange zest, and these are from fresh oranges. And I'm just going to mix that in because I want some orange flavored sugar. We're going to mix that in really good, and then we're just going to set it aside and let the juices and from the peel of that orange sink into that sugar. Here in my bowl, I'm going to place 2 cups of all-purpose flour. 6 tablespoonfuls of sugar. 2½ teaspoons of baking powder. 1/2 teaspoon of salt. And 1 tablespoonful of the orange zest. And I'm just going to kind of mix that up a little bit. Okay, I have here 1/2 cup of, now I'm using salted butter. You can use unsalted butter. It's not going to really make a difference in the taste that much. And I'm taking 1/2 cup, I've cut it into little chunks, and I'm just going to work that into the flour. The flour will look just like it does whenever you're making a pie crust. Okay, now you can see it kind of has a mealy look. It's no longer smooth, the flour, so you can tell that the butter is mixed in well with that. Now here I have 1 plus 2 tablespoonfuls of whipping cream. And to that I'm going to add 1½ teaspoons of vanilla. In my dirty measuring cup that I had the flour in, I'm going to add 1 egg. And to that I'm just going to add my whipping cream and my vanilla. And I'm going to mix that up real good to where that egg is mixed in there. Okay, now here's the time that we add our currants. Any kind of fruit that you're getting ready to add, if you add it to your dry mixture first and coat it, what you're doing is assuring that all of that stays evenly distributed among your scones. Otherwise, your fruit has a tendency without that flour around it to kind of want to sink to the bottom, and all of your fruit would be the bottom of your scone. We like it all throughout it. So I'm going to make just a little well there in the center, and now I'm going to pour my whipping cream and egg mixture in there. And I'm going to mix it very lightly. I don't want to stir it. I want it to stay nice and fluffy and crisp. So we're going to just slowly mix that in. Okay, we want to get all of the flour mixture up out of that. Just kind of roll it. Pick up all of it that's in the bottom of your bowl. Work it into there. And then we are going to very, very lightly put a little flour, and then we're going to work that together. We're kind of mashing that in there. We're going to make it into a circle. And then we're going to cut it into 8 pieces. Okay, now this is probably about 1 inch thick, which is just about where we want it. And now, me, not being good at getting anything even, is going to attempt to make 8 even pieces. Cut it down the middle. Cut that down the middle. Cut each one of these into half. Ooh, somebody's going to get a little one. Try to do better. Well, you can bet that little one won't be mine. Okay, now I'm going to transfer them onto a cookie sheet that has a lined piece of parchment paper. Okay, I'm now going to transfer these 2 at a time, and I'm going to separate them to where that there's a little room in between. And the reason that you do that is because these will spread out and raise just a little bit. So you want plenty of room for them to be able to raise. Okay, that's pretty good right there. Now I'm going to take a little brush and I'm going to brush the tops of each of these with a little whipping cream. Now as you can see, they're well coated. They're not soppy, but they're well coated. And now we're going to take our sugar that we have added that orange zest to, and we're just going to sprinkle that pretty heavy on top of each scone. Okay, and we've got that all on there. That orange smells so good. Now I'm going to put them into my oven. I have preheated it to 400 degrees, and we're going to let it bake for anywhere from 22 to 25 minutes. Okay, it's going to be just a few minutes and our scones are going to be ready. Here I have squeezed the juice out of 2 oranges, and I'm going to add 3 tablespoonfuls to 1 cup of powdered sugar. Just going to stir that up good. Now I want this to be a pouring consistency. And you can see it's thickened, but it is not really thick. So get that smooth. And then we're just going to set it aside And when those hot scones comes out of the oven, we're going to pour this directly onto a hot scone. Okay, for us, our 30 minutes is up. They're a nice kind of golden brown. And see, as you can see how they have all spread out a little bit. And while they're still warm, we're going to take our orange sugar here, and we're just going to kind of pour that over it. Pour it around. Now we're going to serve this with our clotted cream. If you haven't seen our clotted cream recipe, please take a moment to go and look at it. It's an easy stovetop clotted cream that doesn't take near the time that some of your traditional ones do. There we go. Boy, we're looking forward to having these currant and orange scones.